So it says above, what is digital marketing? Well, this is what it is, and this is what it is not. First, I'm going to start with what it is not, okay? So what it is not is direct response marketing. This is the marketing that you grew up with. That's the newspaper, TV, magazines, flyers, billboards. All that stuff is like, hey, here, give me money, right? It's all here I am, give me money. These are not targeted, so it's like if I go by a billboard and I see, boom, chiropractor, then I go home, I wasn't looking for a chiropractor, but then a couple weeks goes by and I'm like, well, my wife says, oh, I need to go to the chiropractor. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know I saw a billboard, but I don't remember who it was. I don't even remember the number, or even if I could go to a website. So I didn't need it at the time, so I wasn't searching for it. So how am I going to remember that all the time? The problem with all of that is nowadays is, hey, I just met you. I'm throwing my thing up in front of you, and give me money, right? There's no relationship. So when you're putting something in the newspaper and the magazine ad, like, how do you know that you're reaching your ideal customer? How do you know? How can you communicate with them? How can you have conversations with them? How do you know that person that saw it was the right person that needs your help and wants to do business with you? So the cool thing is people got tired of that old thing. Now what they do is they search, they have intent. They want to know something and they want to have a conversation. They don't want you being all up in their face and disrespecting the sales process. Sales process is a conversation and a relationship, right? Not, hey, here I am. Here's a 50% off, blah, blah, blah. Give me your money. That's what it is. You're saying, give me your money. And if I walked up to you on the street and we just met and I shook your hand and I talked to you for a few minutes and, hey, by the way, can you hand me a bunch of money? You'd be like, no, get out of here. So doing that in an ad is not cool anymore. And Facebook actually is throttling all of that. What they want you to do is be a genuine human being and interact with people. Okay? So the best thing that is that people will search for your stuff. People will look for you. And if you're on there and you're positioned correctly, that means you are on all the platforms that are necessary for your business. You're verified, right? You exist. You have history. They can go search your personal profile and say, oh yeah, this is what they do. If they're a carpet cleaner, they talk about carpet cleaning and their work that they do. It's going to be on there and you're going to be associated with it. So the amazing thing is that you can be found, is that people are going to search for you. So I have a story. When I first started doing this, there was a business I started to, communicate with about potentially working together. They were in the refinance industry. They were spending 40 grand a month in mailers, right? They were sending mailers, the junk mail that you get. They were one of these people doing that. They were sending mailers and they were spending between $28,000 and $40,000 a month just sending mailers. Okay, well, the problem with is everybody shifted away from that mentally. If you get junk mail like that in, you just don't trust it. There's no way to communicate that. It says do this, do this now. We're going to help you, and it's all really pretty hardcore. Most people aren't going to take action on that because most of the people you're mailing it to, maybe they're not interested in that, right? How do you know that on that list that you're mailing stuff, these mailers to, is your customers? You don't know, right? So anyway, they were spending between, what I said, $28,000 and $40,000 a month on mailers. And I come in and I said, wow, we could, set you up with Google really well, run some Google ads. We can run some Facebook ads in the cities that you're working in, right? Because they had regions that they were working in. And, they were so used to doing this mailer thing. By the way, I said, man, for $5,000 a month versus 40 grand a month, we could do double or triple the efforts that they were doing. Because they're only sending out 40 or 50,000 pieces of mail. We can reach a community like that with Facebook and Google, right? So for $5,000 a month, that was what we were talking about, and I was going through it, and they were ready to go on board, but they were so in debt because they had to keep paying this 40 grand a month. They ended up going out of business. I ended up not working with them because they didn't understand the the golden opportunity in front of them of being able to reach the right customer who actually needs their help and wants their help. So they didn't communicate that. They're like, here's a thing. We're great. Give us money. We've been in business for, blah, blah, blah time. Give us money. They went out of business because of their old belief systems. So I wish I could have helped them. I really wanted to, but they were so stuck in their ways that they didn't want the help. Here's an example of where I was searching for it was my transmission in my truck had gone out. Well, I got all these results, but they were all messy. They didn't have their stuff in order. I didn't know if they actually were open anymore. So this is an example of a person not doing a good job, and then somebody who does. So anyway, my truck transmission went out. I'm searching. I need somebody to fix it. So I search. I find a place that's like 5 miles down the road in a really small town. Like 1,000 people there or something. But they had their Facebook filled out, their Google My Business filled out. They had a little website. They had everything. They had pictures of the employees that worked there. Just everything was in order. And you know what I did? I called them up. I checked out their work. I looked through their Facebook page. I ended up taking it there like a day later and getting it fixed. Now, in that was the tow truck that I need. Well, I looked for a tow truck. There's a lot of tow trucks I see driving around with their numbers on the side, but I didn't remember the number on the side of the truck at the time that I needed it. So what I do, I looked on Facebook and I found a towing service that had all their stuff filled out. They had their Google filled out. They had their, a good website. They had all these things so I could see who they were. I called them up. They came to my house. They took my truck away to the place that I found, and my truck was fixed, and it was all a good deal all the way around, and I gave them good reviews and everything. But that made my problem easy to solve. I was like, I just need somebody to tow my truck, and I need somebody to fix it. I was able to find it. I didn't remember where the billboard was or the number on the side of the truck, tow truck, none of that, but I was able to look in my phone and find it. So those are two stories of somebody who went old methods and somebody who went new methods. So there's a lot of people who are scared and they, I don't want to be too much online and all of that. Well, you have an online identity already, okay? Just like you have an offline. Offline identity is your community, your neighbors, your, barbershop conversations, your church conversations, your get-togethers, the restaurants that you go to, the car dealerships that you buy cars from, the insurance people that you pay insurance to, the restaurants, all the things that you do in life, your work, right? Your work friends. There's an online version of it too, right? Now, it's really important. It's the same thing. It's the same people, communicating, only you can communicate with a lot more broad range of people. It's still your life and it's still you. So online and offline, it's an ecosystem. So this is what makes sense in having your business online is people are in that ecosystem and people are growing up in that ecosystem, and it's what they know, where they know to search for stuff. There's a lot of laws being put in place right now that are protecting people's privacy and things. And so these are things that I constantly have to keep up on to keep people safe and protected, right? But just understand that there's an ecosystem. It's permission-based marketing. It's not direct marketing anymore. It's not give me your money, right? It's building a relationship with you. That is cool because now you can actually get the things you want, at your fingertips. Hey, I just wanted to share the difference between old school marketing and new school marketing. Direct response marketing is dead, and digital marketing is the way that we're going, the way that we are right now. I shared with you a couple stories. One was of a business that I was going to work with that spent $40,000 a month, and I was able to do for everything that they're doing and more for $5,000 a month. So that's a big difference, right? But they ended up going out of business because they stuck to their old ways. Versus when I needed my transmission fixed in my truck, I was able to find them. I was able to get my truck towed. I was able to get it fixed. And it was all really easy, and everybody was able to do business really effectively. So I just wanted to fill you in on the differences between these two and the way it is now. I don't want you to misunderstand it. I want you guys to be educated. So I just thank you so much for checking me out today. There's plenty around on this page to learn about me. That was the whole reason I built it, so we can get connected because, hey, it's a new generation. Let's jump in. Bye.